morning we're going for a hike. It's gonna be a workout. We're here at Takht-e-Bahi, one of the UNESCO sites here in Pakistan, and it's a Buddhist ruin. A lot of you guys might be surprised by that because you wouldn't think there'd be Buddhists. A lot of Buddhist temples or ruins here in Pakistan, but back in the 1st century BC, this was created because Buddhists did exist in this region. In this place we're at is called Takht-e-Bahi. Takht means throne or high up, and Bahi means water. So they assume that there's a couple streams down here as well. Also, this is crazy, but this place is only about 30% excavated. So what we're gonna see, the ruins, the structures, that's only 30%. The other 70% are hidden still in the mountains, like the iceberg of archaeological sites. We're still in the stairs before we even reach the ruins, and even this area is just so serene, just surrounded by trees and the mountains. If you're into serenity, philosophy, spirituality, or really like Stairmasters, this is the place for you. So we got to the main ruins here. You can see like this combination of huge stones and little slabs of stones put together to make these walls, and those areas in the mountain you can see little bits of the sites poking through the ground, and those are the places that haven't been excavated yet. So it's just all over the mountaintop. It gives you a sense of how big this place is and how much there's still to be discovered. So this is the main section of the ruins. If you see these nooks on the wall, these are places where the monks used to sit in and recite prayer and meditate. So this is the kitchen area, and this whole section is where the living took place. So if you look at these little rooms here, this is where they lived, and they each would have a window, and this is where they would put their oil lamps and books. I mean, just imagine someone from 2,000 years ago slept here, window, oil lamp, and this is how they lived back then. So amazing, right? Just came down from the monastery. That was an amazing experience. Now we're all hungry. Gonna go for some local regional food, and that's gonna be chapli kebab. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh, is that what I think it is? There is bone marrow inside the kebab patties. Remember what we said about bone marrow. Any dish with it is gonna be amazing. Look at this. I mean, I've never even thought this was possible. Like, this is a feat of food engineering that has never crossed my mind. I mean, we eat a lot of patties, and I've eaten a lot of this kebab here in this country. I just never thought like bone marrow could be inside this. I mean, look how pretty. So this is one of the most traditional, sorry, I'm just salivating so much right now. This is one of the most traditional dishes in Peshawar. Only in this region can you find it so authentic as this. And these are like monster-sized, burger-sized patties with at least 2 pieces of bone marrow stuck in the middle. Usually it's minced beef or minced mutton. This is beef. It's minced, all the spices and herbs ground up, put together and shaped into like a burger patty, and it's fried nice and toasty on the outside, and the inside, check this out, beautifully tender. Oh, they got tomatoes in here too. What? All these great ingredients inside this kebab. Look at the chilies and the color, little green, little orange. There's garlic in here. I can see the coriander seeds. feel like my nose just got a whiff of an uppercut because my senses just got knocked back by how good this smells. And it's so tender and juicy inside with just a marvelous crunch on the outside. I cannot wait to try this. This is like the thing you gotta have in this region is this. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to start. Let me just take a piece without the marrow first. And look at this. Look at that. Tomato, chilies, herbs, garlic, all that great stuff is minced inside the kebab. You make a little taco with it, add a bit of yogurt and mint. Wow, I've never had this kebab taste this good in this country. I've had this plenty of times in this country. Nothing comes close to how good this tastes. I'm shook right now. What's crazy is the different textures in here. Really, really, really tender inside. But the outside is such a startling crunch. Every single bite, you get a little bit of the crunchy exterior. And the whole thing has all that spices and herbs and a little sweet flavor of the tomatoes mixed in. I mean, we say flavor bomb a lot, and as you chew it more and more, you hit like little spice pockets, you know? They're like little fragrant crevices residing inside this kebab. And then it's just like your mouth is filled with wonderful spicy aroma all over again. I'm going in for the marrow. Oh, I can't believe this. Look at that. Massive chunks of marrow. And this is what I'm talking about. It's so crusty and nice and crunchy here. And look at, and it's so tender and juicy and soft here. It's just such a textural delight. Next bite, we're hitting the gym. Excuse me while I cry a little bit. When I bit into that marrow, and when that fat just rivered all over my taste buds, it just brought like a whole different sensation to this dish. I mean, just when you think you're falling in love with the spices and the crunch, all of a sudden it's just this intense, fatty, creamy flavor just floods everything, and it doesn't overpower any of the other flavor. It just enhances everything. It just creates a mammoth fatty tsunami of flavor, and at the end of the day, all you want is just have that sensation all over again. This is the best version of this dish I've had so far in this country. Words cannot express how much I will miss this when I leave here, and no other patties might ever look the same to me again. There's just something so wondrous about sitting here, being like in this local community, eating what everyone else is eating and just enjoying this pace of life. And it's something I wish all you guys could experience at some point in your life. In a local environment, exploring the local culture. This is what I love about travel. This is what I love about exploring the world, right here. We are in the area of Swat, and the dish they eat here is this. Check this out. This is called, oh my God, this is heavy. This is a good 20 pounds, I think. This is called wort jelly. It is the most popular traditional dish in this region. It's so traditional and so ancient, like nobody really knows when it originated from. People just know that when you come here, this is what you gotta eat. It's a dish that's also pretty simple. It's a rice dish cooked with 7 different types of spinach. You got a little cream here, a little ghee that you put it on. Essentially, this is local Swat comfort food. And it's really different than a lot of the rice dishes that we've seen so far in this country, mainly because, look at it, it's definitely more of a saucier, wetter, stickier rice dish than a lot of the rice dishes that we've seen so far in this country. So you put a little cream, little ghee. When I took out the big spatula, look at this. It's like I made a wort jelly smiley face. They should make this into a food emoji. Oh wow, I feel more comforted already. Heck yes. I love me some wort jelly. Wow. First thing that hits you is the texture of the rice. It's definitely a lot soggier and softer than a lot of the rice dishes we had. It's almost got a creamy consistency to it. There's not a lot of seasoning in here. It's usually just the different types of spinach, a splash of lemon to kind of balance out the buttery flavor of the ghee. And when you start chewing it, the spinach flavor really rises. It's almost like eating cream of spinach rice. The flavor is so good. This thing is so buttery and spinachy in the best way possible. One thing about this, though, I'll tell you right now, this is definitely a heavy dish too. It's got that decadent quality where it's gonna satisfy you, and it's definitely very, very fulfilling. Add a splash of citrus. So much better. You need that splash of citrus just to cool off your taste buds a little bit and settle your stomach. This is something you can only find in this region here. You're not gonna find this in any major city in Pakistan unless you come to this region, and you should. Just driving through the mountains, that was a feast for the eyes, and you come here, you get a dish that's like, it ain't nothing fancy about it. It's just simple and delicious, and that's what you want. And I've had rice, of course, all my life. Never had anything like this before. Again, simply delicious local fares like this. That's what I love.
So we're heading deeper into the mountains here in Swat, and this region is called Muddy, and you can see the Swat River runs through here, and there's a lot of trout farms here, and rainbow trout's like one of the predominant things produced here seafood wise, so we're gonna go get some of that. This is crazy. Snow-capped mountains in the background, beautiful crystal clear river running through, and this is where we're gonna go get the fish.
I think fried fish is like the most popular way of eating fish in this country, and this is the first time I'm having a fried trout probably ever in my life. But this thing, look at this. Again, lightly toasted on the outside, and don't sleep on the skin. Crispy trout skin. Spicy crispy trout skin. Inside it's just all pure tenderness. Look at that juice. Like it's still swimming in the river. The flavor is so mild and delicate. If you want to eat fish without the fishy flavor, this is it for you. All that great chilies and cumin, coriander, a nice Pakistan spice mixture, all on the outside. They give you chili sauce, but for me, splash of lime juice. I feel like coming to Swat, I mean, food is important, but the overall experience is where you should be eating up. Like the majestic mountains, the pristine river, just being able to be here and breathe through the fresh air and eating fish that was swimming and kicking like 20 minutes ago. This is what I call experience of a lifetime.